The Bridge of Words. In a quiet town nestled between rolling hills, lived a couple, Daniel and Sarah. They had been married for 5 years and loved each other deeply, yet something had begun to shift between them. Their once joyful conversations had turned into short exchanges, their laughter had grown scarce, and an invisible wall seemed to rise between them. The silence that divided. Daniel worked long hours at his business, hoping to provide a better life for their family, while Sarah, a talented writer, spent her days at home, feeling increasingly alone. When Daniel came home, he was too exhausted to talk, and Sarah, feeling neglected, stopped trying to engage him. Instead of voicing her frustrations, she assumed he no longer cared. Instead of asking how she felt, Daniel assumed she was simply tired from her day. The silence grew deeper, and with it, resentment. They still shared the same house, the same bed, and the same meals, but their hearts felt miles apart. The breaking point. One evening, Sarah sat by the window, staring at the stars. A single tear slid down her cheek. She loved Daniel, but the silence between them hurt more than any argument ever could. Daniel noticed but hesitated to speak. Finally, summoning courage, he asked, "Sarah, are you okay?" She hesitated, then, in a trembling voice, said, "Daniel, do you even see me anymore?" Her words hit him like a wave. He had been so caught up in work that he hadn't realized how distant he had become. "I do," he admitted, "but I don't know how to reach you anymore." She looked at him, surprised. "Just talk to me," she whispered. "Tell me what's on your mind. Let me in." The power of words. That night, they sat for hours, talking, not just about their struggles, but about their dreams, fears, and love for each other. Daniel shared how he felt pressured to succeed, fearing he would fail as a provider. Sarah confessed how lonely she had felt, how she longed for simple moments of connection. As they spoke, the wall between them crumbled. They realized that love wasn't just in grand gestures but in everyday conversations. The power of words had reignited the flame that silence had nearly extinguished. The benefits of communication. From that night on, they made a commitment to always talk, even when tired, even when upset. They discovered that communication builds trust. By sharing openly, they no longer had to guess each other's feelings. It prevents misunderstandings. They learned that silence often creates false assumptions. It strengthens emotional intimacy. The more they talked, the closer they felt. It resolves conflicts faster. Instead of bottling up resentment, they addressed problems early. It fosters appreciation. Simple words like "I appreciate you" or "I love you" brought warmth into their home. A love renewed. Months later, Daniel came home from work and found Sarah writing in her journal. He sat beside her, held her hand, and smiled.